Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Santa Rosa Union School District Board meeting for August 10th. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 5:02. If we can please start with the roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Here.
Ms. Sarah Turner, Mr. Jacob Sandoval,
Here.
Mr. Neil Patel, and Ms. Alvariano are not present.
Okay, if we can please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, moving on to item 1.3, approval of board agenda. If I can please get a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second. Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, today on closed session items, we have items 2.1, public employee appointment / employment under Government Code Section 54957. We have item 2.2, public employee performance evaluation under Government Code Section 54957. And we also have item 2.3, conference with labor negotiators under Government Code Section 54957.6. Do we have any public comments regarding closed session items?
No, we do not.
Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn the closed session, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
To closed session.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
See everybody afterwards. Okay, good afternoon. We're going to reconvene back into open session. During closed session, the board appointed Tanya Bossler as elementary assistant principal at Newry Public School, and the vote was 3-0. I don't know if you'd like to say a few words.
Good evening, board members, superintendent, assistant superintendent, and directors and audience. My name is Tanya Vossler. I'm excited about this opportunity to serve as assistant principal of New Republic Elementary School for Santa Rita Union School District. I want to tell you a little about my background. I grew up in the Central Valley, where I was surrounded by numerous family members who were educators. My parents served as administrators for several years as well. I graduated from Fresno State, where I earned a bachelor's degree in business finance. For several years, I went into that industry and really enjoyed it, but there was something in my heart tugging, and it was to become an educator. I guess my family influenced me quite a bit. So I then decided I really wanted to be an educator, so I went and earned my credential for teaching. Right now, as of today, I have 20 years experience in the classroom. I have 5 years as an administrator. And in addition, these last 2 years, I have been the Santa Rita Union School District Elementary Summer School Principal at La Jolla, which I really enjoyed and had a lot of fun doing. I want to say again how excited I am to work for Santa Rita in this position, and I want to thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, congratulations on your new position. Okay, moving on to 5.1, approval of consent agenda for items 5.2 to 5.6. If I can get a motion, please.
Motion to approve 5.1 to 5.6.
Second.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, thank you. We're going to move on to reports, information, and correspondence. 6.1, SRTA.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Heather Varela. I am the SRTA president. Today was my first day back at school. I've been out on COVID leave. It was a very exciting day. It was great meeting my class and all the fun things that come with that and seeing everybody's smiling faces. But I feel like I have a lot of catching up to do. Moving on to teachers, we all found the optional professional development, those that took advantage of it, to be very useful, especially behavior flip and the restorative practice playbook. We know we're going to be implementing and using those programs, and some of us will be piloting the behavior flip soon, and we're looking forward to that. Teachers are busy getting ready for the district-wide back-to-school night, which is going to be tomorrow. We are very excited to have this in person. The last, I think, 2 years we've done it virtually, so we're really looking forward to having families back on campus. As there shifts to student enrollment in the coming few weeks, we hope that the district will, to the best of their ability, honor the action number 4 goal of the LCAP, and that goal states to meet the individual needs of students through appropriate class size. An appropriate class size is 24-1 for TK to 3rd grade and 26-1 from 4th grade to 8th grade. SRTA is looking forward to our regular scheduled meetings with Ms. Alderman, and she's already set those up. Our first one is going to be September 19th. We really appreciate the open communication that we have with her and Mrs. Moore. And we're also very grateful to the board. We appreciate all the support that you've given us. And we just want to say thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your feedback. We always appreciate it and glad you're feeling better. I just got over COVID myself too, so it's not fun. Anybody here from CSEA? Or any comments? No? Okay. We're going to move on to Superintendent's Cabinet. We're going to start off with Mr. Victor Sandoval, Director of MOTF. Oh, there he is. I think you're muted. Okay. Okay, hold on 1 second, Victor. They have a quick CSEA report. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I apologize, that literally just came in. So this is from Juana Casillas, our CSEA president, who says, "Good evening, everyone. We are very happy, optimistic for this brand new 2022-2023 school year. We are all seeing, hearing, feeling the positive difference this new year has brought. CSEA met with the district team today and began working on negotiations and will continue tomorrow, and we are hoping to wrap it up. Juana Casillas, CSEA Chapter 503 President."
Okay, thank you, CSA and Juana, for those comments. Okay, Victor, you're up.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I'm difficulties, but I got the picture back on and everything's working. All I have to do is just report on what we've been doing the past week and the past 2 weeks, and the second week of school. Of course, we're adding new kids to buses, and transportation has been the biggest focus right now. The kitchen project is actually wrapped up, and we're just going through minor punch lists. The grounds looks great. Everything has been pretty much repaired, and I think that we are about to release our extra help probably by Friday. And that's all I have for tonight.
What was the last comment you said about by Friday? I missed the first couple of words.
The grounds department had some subs coming in to assist us with, the grounds department, and all of the repairs have been done, and we're looking at probably wrapping it up by Friday.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? Okay, thank you. Moving on to Director of Nutritional Services, Mr. Chuck Helm.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Just a couple quick things. So in a previous report, I mentioned that prior to school starting, we checked all our equipment. Everything was running great. And Murphy's Law, right? Of course, in the first week or so, a couple pieces of equipment break down. So it's fine. We're rolling with the punches. We had a couple pieces of extra pieces of equipment that we could plug in. And it basically brought on the idea that we need to look at all of our equipment and start evaluating replacing or continuing to put money into fixing them. So in the next few weeks, we'll be working with Rosa and looking at those. Meal counts right now are, it's 6 days in, so it's not really much of a point to look at them, but they're steady. They're right where they were last year. I'm more concerned with our systems working, our systems in place, and our equipment working. So once we get through, we'll make any adjustments we need and start looking at meal counts later on in the next few weeks or month or so. That's it for me.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from the board? Okay, thank you for the update. Then Rosa's not here today. Director of Special Education and Student Services, Ms. Melanie Grundy.
I guess so, huh? Perfect, thank you. All right, well, good evening, everyone. It's been a busy week for everybody. We had our all SPED meeting where we had special ed teachers, OTs, SLPs, paras, administrators come, and we talked best practice around notes, IEP timelines, LEA checklists, IEP agendas. We talked about sending out parent notices and just getting really organized as we look at our caseloads and kind of look at the scope of work we have for the year. We talked extensively about collaboration with gen ed teachers too, and getting out IEP at glances so our students that are in gen ed classes can be better supported as well. Our new SPED TOSA, our teacher on special assignment, focusing on SPED and MTSS, has started. And it's been a very exciting position because she's already been able to meet with all of our new teachers in their classrooms and already working on just goal development and modeling lessons and literally carrying boxes and moving curriculum. So very excited for that position and just the amount of support that that's going to bring our teams. Continually working on hiring and very grateful for all the work HR is doing around SPED hiring. We still have additional paraprofessional positions open, as well as service paras, which are supporting our virtual SLP and OT positions. And we have 2 special ed teacher positions. So just really working around the clock to try to fill those positions and make sure that we're you know, have the spots filled to better serve students. Exciting news, we have our first in-person speech pathologist, or SLP, at Santa Rita. So very excited about her starting. She's actually one of ours, so that's great news. And she's bilingual, so she can bring and do all the Spanish assessments and really working with that site to look at child find and holding some assessments. So that's the update. Any questions?
Nope, just thank you for all your work, and I think you get the award for the most acronyms today.
I know, I'm sorry, SPED has a lot.
No, I've learned a lot of those, so I agree.
Okay, moving on to Director of Parent, Family, and Community Engagement, Dr. Summer Prather-Smith.
Okay, I'm not going to have the shortest one tonight. Sorry, team. I'll go quick. Got a lot of notes on here. Today, Melanie and I received notice that we were approved for the Harmony at Home Bullying Prevention Program that will be at JGMS. We get 1 day a week at one site to start with, and so that's a collaboration between Harmony at Home and Children's Behavioral Health. So we'll have a person assigned there 1 day a week. And in that role, that person will work on assessing school climate, supporting individual students. I want to make sure I read them correctly. Developing assemblies with classes and with students, putting together student-led assemblies, as well as developing student leaders around bullying prevention. So we're excited to get that meeting set up and get them started at JG, and then hopefully have the opportunity to expand. We've let them know that we're open to expanding to as many places as they'll give us people for.
But you mentioned they'll be there one
full day a week.
Awesome.
Yeah, 1 full day a week. Along with that, our Cognito, I had said I'd give a little bit of an update. So with Cognito, we've had 62 of our staff already complete the elementary at-risk portion, 13 early childhood, 31 for our middle school. 80 staff have completed the emotional and mental wellness. We've had 14 staff complete the Step In, Speak Up, supporting LGBTQ students. And we've had 5 staff do Safe and Caring Schools. And then an additional 10 staff who have completed trauma-informed practices. And so staff have the opportunity all year to go into Cognito as an issue arises and do those courses. We have launched our book club, as I've talked about. We've given out our free sets of book, which is nice. Everybody's signed up. Today, I also sent to each site 2 of each book that they can set up in their staff lounge for anybody to check out, kind of thing, read and return. So if you guys will help me in the staff lounge, set up those up. Those should be at the site in the next couple days, so that staff, even if they maybe aren't able to engage in the book club, can still have access to those resources. And then they'll transition into the library, and the librarians will be able to include those in the teacher library part of the book club as well. We have our upcoming equity and inclusion meeting, the first one for this year on August 18th. That's coming up. And as was shared, we had a really successful optional PD days with our restorative practice playbook with Dr. Dominique Smith from Fisher and Fry School in San Diego, as well as Behavior Flip. And we're excited because Dominique will be back for a full day of professional development on our PD day on October 10th. And so we're excited that he'll be there for that. And then we'll be launching our pilot. We have at least a couple of people from each site who are launching our pilot for Behavior Flip, which we're hoping to do September 1st. And then the goal will be from that pilot, make sure everything's the way it should be so that we can do a full launch after winter break. And again, if you remember, Behavior Flip is that program that teachers can use to monitor both positive and challenging behaviors. And a little bit, one more update. I'm sure you got the notice. We're having also our first service dog on campus at John Gutierrez. I've been able to meet with the staff as well as send information out to families. And at this point, everybody's really excited to welcome the student and the service dog onto the campus. So we've been able to also work with Amy Nobles, who's a certified service dog trainer, who will be on site on Wednesday to do a visit with us and make sure that everything's how it needs to be, and then be available for support as we need her as well, as we learn from our first service dog. A quick update, told you it was gonna be long, sorry. A quick update on Little Bear Creek. So we're all set to transition to MCOE on September 2nd. All of our teaching staff will be making that transition with MCOE and beginning officially on September 2nd over there. Victor and I were able to meet with their facilities teams this morning for some updates that they're going to be doing. Not on we don't have to worry about it, so that's nice. Because they are going to expand the program and serve 2- and 3-year-olds. So they're going to do some modification to some of those rooms so that they can serve 2- and 3-year-olds, which will also bump the numbers. So that's an exciting program update for them. And I think that's everything that's on my list. Thank you.
Well, long lists are okay. And I think it's great to hear all the different things going on. Can I get an invite to the equity meeting on the 18th?
The only thing I would say, just thank you to the staff and teachers for participating in all the training. I mean, we bring it forward, but it's up to them to do it. So, okay, moving on to Director of Curriculum, Ms. Donna Coney. She's right. I was looking up.
Mine works. Thank you. It was great. Optional PD days went great. We also had 2 representatives from Solution Tree that presented on RTI and PLC processes. And those were very successful. I already presented some differentiation and scaffolding, looking at the history data so they can move it forward with their PLC teams. The sites are getting their PLC teams structured tighter this year so that they can launch another step forward from last year, and making sure those new teachers that we have are starting to get trained if they have not done the training. IT, shout out to IT team and our media techs and those that were supporting rolling out our Chromebook distributions. Middle schools were launching those out yesterday and today and tomorrow, and on time, and it's gone really well. And Martha, the media tech over at New Republic, she worked a little bit extra hours over the summer with her team, and she actually went to different sites and helped our IT team clean those Chromebooks that came in at the end of the year. So I wanted to make sure she got a special shout out. And rolling out all of the apps, Miss Krisha has been working with Aries and Clever, making sure in any loopholes that have been happening. Every rollout of IT for the first of the school year always has a little bit of hiccups, but we're getting through those. Initial LPACs, the TOSAs, I got a shout out to them. They helped with the new teacher professional development day, and every one of them helped with our new teacher professional development day. And they're now rolling in, getting ready to do their initial LPACs, boots on the ground running, and also checking in with our new teachers to make sure everything's going well for them. We have a Williams visit next week with Gavilan View Middle School. And I had a shout out to the TOSA James Stoffer also, literally hand counting all of our materials, making sure every single student that's in that classroom has every single textbook, and the detail to attention that he's given. I'm just really proud of what he's doing. And then he just turned around after he got done with the curriculum. He just turned around and started making sure the Chromebooks were ready. So I think we're ready to go with Williams if they wanted to come earlier. So he probably won't want to say that, but but yeah, they're doing a great job. So thank you to everybody that's been helping roll out this school year. It's been feeling almost as normal as pre-COVID as far as a rollout. Knock on wood.
Any questions or comments from the board? No? Okay, thank you for the update. Moving on to Assistant Superintendent of Human Resource, Ms. Becky Moore.
Thank you. Obviously, Human Resources has been doing a ton of hiring. I believe we have passed the 35 mark for certificated employees that were hired for this school year, and we have a few positions still pending, a couple that just opened up. Also, just in the last 2 weeks, my Human Resources analyst shared that she has onboarded approximately 20 new classified employees. So the office is buzzing and hustling, and it's been exciting, and also you can feel the fury of work happening. In addition to that, making sure that all of our new employees are set up in every system, including payroll, because we want them all to be paid this month. So really prioritizing getting those things done right now. We are continuing to recruit, and so if anybody knows anybody who wants to work in one of our open positions, please spread the word. Drive a bus, work some maintenance, teach, be a para, substitutes are on the list that Charlotte has also hired, not including the 35. We had our new teacher orientation around the time of our last board meeting, and I just want to say again how fabulous it was to be in the room with these teachers. I think that we hired some really great educators, and I'm excited about continuing to work with them this year and see them. Melissa and I have committed to visiting all of their classrooms at least a couple of times this year to show our support. And then also I was able to meet with Donna and Krisha and Karen Yoder this week to talk about implementing the new professional development that is required for teachers who are new to our district and making that meaningful. So we're working on getting that scheduled together and starting to identify the topics that will be the most beneficial for our new teachers. As Summer said, all of the preschool teachers did apply to MCOE. We were able to help one who missed the deadline inadvertently. And so you will see that there is a layoff resolution on the board agenda just in case something went awry. But it looks like there will be no layoffs given to preschool teachers because they've all secured positions in the new program. So that was great news to hear. We are closely monitoring those class sizes and have been able to talk through some scares and some mix-ups and different situations that have happened in the last few days. And I want to really thank everybody who has engaged in conversations with me to help clear that up, to make sure that we are all working together to do whatever is best for our students first, and also to support our staff so that they can support our students. I think that's, and CSEA today, we had a great start, continuance of our negotiations, and we're meeting again tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you for the update, and just glad to hear that those new teachers are going to be supported and hopefully be able to get retained for long term there. Any questions or comments? Okay. Okay, we're going to move on to the board and the superintendent. We'll start off with Mr. Andrew Sandoval.
Well, great job to all the teachers and staff. I think the year's off to a great start. I had an opportunity on my way over here to run into Mr. Martell. He was taking down a food processor. And of course, I was kind of curious what he was doing with that. So apparently he has something called Foodie Friday. And so tomorrow he's going to be making gazpacho for his students. So maybe dropping by just to observe. Yes. But I just, La Jolla is doing great. I think the high school changing their time has alleviated traffic. And I am definitely looking forward to Victor's plan to have a new drop-off and pickup at La Jolla, as it's very congested and sometimes can find no parking whatsoever. So I'm excited about us moving forward on that. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Sarah Turner.
I just want to thank people for continuing to, calls, emails. We read them all, we discuss them all. So just continue to bring your information forward. And thank you to everybody for all of the hard work of getting ready for school and surviving the first week.
Okay, for myself, I just want to say welcome back to everybody to the school year, and thank you to the staff and to the teachers and the directors and stuff. I know there's a lot of hiccups in the beginning, but as long as we put students first, I'm sure we'll find resolutions to everything, and we're always here to support as well. So, and then I'm hoping, if my schedule permits, to be visiting La Jolla and also John Gutierrez tomorrow for their back to school night as well. Okay, Superintendent Alderman.
Thank you. You just jogged my memory. Want to let everybody know our elementary schools are scheduled for their back to school parent meetings and stuff. We're starting at 5 o'clock, and then middle school starting a little bit later. So as you schedule those, Gavel and View is waiting and doing their back to school later in August. They were preparing for their Williams visit and stuff, and there's a lot of movement. So I'll get you their date and time as well. As you can tell, I am still getting over having had COVID. It took over 2 years for it to get me, but it did. Luckily, I was back for the start of the school year, but I really want to thank Becky Moore and all of the directors for knowing that Becky could send me home, which she did. because I said, Becky, I need you to come look at something. And she was like, you need to go follow the rules. And so just know Becky makes everyone follow the rules, in case anyone doubted that. But that I could go home and be that ill without worrying and knowing that things were handled. Not that I had a great experience being sick, but at least I didn't have that stress added as well. So I really want to thank her stepping fully into the breach, and all of the directors with her, and keeping things running and not having a big problem when I got back or anything. So that was really nice, and I could just show up right before school started like, hi, and everything was okay. So that was nice. And having COVID was not nice, as those of us who've had it now know. But so getting those things in order, wanted to kind of let everyone know that where we are with the WASP development. I know questions come up. We're doing court-sponsored mediation right now with the developers, and so we have a retired judge who is assisting in the mediation process. There's not really information to report at this time. We've exchanged some proposal ideas, and so we're waiting right now. And hopefully that comes to fruition for us, and we can at least know where we're going with that. But I know I wanted to, Danny Crouch is watching, she's probably going to think about the WASP development. And so to let everyone know, though, that it's still in progress. And then if you've been tuning into board meetings, a separate thing that I know board members will be reaching out in the community. We'll be putting together a bond committee shortly, once we get that on the ballot. And doing that, and that is for our current school sites, modernization, renovation, additions that we need to do for our current residents with our current school sites. The WASP negotiations are separate from that. So.
Okay, great. Thank you for the update. Any questions from the board on this? No? Okay, thank you. Moving on to 7.1, public comment regarding non-agenda items. Do we have any items?
We do have one item. So this is from Rebecca Raymond, who says, I am a parent of one of the new kindergarten children at McKinnon Elementary. I am concerned as currently the class sizes are significantly higher than the best evidence has shown us. The classes, it seems, will be split now, but my concern is that these classes will continue to grow with late registration, and that kindergarten at the other sites are being condensed and McKinnon may get the overflow. As well, a pre-K and a kindergarten class will be made as a combo. There is no way the quality of instruction will be to its highest level in this pre-K kinder class. I also personally know a fully qualified kinder teacher within your district who is currently not teaching kindergarten, and although employed by your district, has no current assignment, Ms. Vargas. I do understand as a parent the reason why this teacher is not being utilized to her, I do not understand as a parent the reason why this teacher is not being utilized to her full potential when clearly there is a class size issue. I do not understand making a combo class when the latest legislation regarding pre-K indicates a clear class size limit, and that I do not understand making a combo class when it could potentially affect instruction quality. I want to know why the district is not returning Ms. Vargas' classroom when there's a clear need and she wants to be back in the classroom. This seems like a recipe for burnout for teachers, potentially the loss of a gifted kindergarten teacher, and potentially a reduced quality of education for our pre-K students. Respectfully, Rebecca Raymond, MD.
Okay, thank you. Can you clarify any of those points?
Yes, we are aware of the high class sizes in our McKinnon kindergarten. Ms. Vargas is currently in another assignment, and we are watching again for the 10 days that our district traditionally watches classes before we make the adjustments that are going to best serve the needs of our students. So those kindergarten class sizes will definitely be addressed, and we will be looking at the best way to do that next week.
Okay, and there'll be more to come. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay, is there any public comments regarding agenda items?
No, there's not.
Okay. Moving to 9.1, approval of resolution 22.08.3, layoff resolution for preschool teachers.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to 12.1, public hearing regarding sufficiency of pupil textbooks and instructional materials. At this time, I'd like to open up the hearing at 6:30. Background says, in order to be eligible to receive instructional material funds, the governing board of each district and county office of education is required to hold an annual public hearing and adopt a resolution stating whether each pupil in the district has sufficient textbooks or instructional materials in the specified subjects that are aligned to the academic content standards and consistent with the content of cycles of the curriculum frameworks adopted by the state board under Educational Code 60119 and 5 CCR 9531.
Just while the public hearing is open, I'd like to let people know, sometimes you see on social media concerns about books or textbooks or that kind of thing, just to let people know that anytime a book is adopted by a school district, first it goes through the state board, then it goes through our local school district. People can come in and look at anything that they want to, at any time. So it, sometimes I think people get the idea that these things happen behind closed doors. They don't. They desperately want people to serve on these committees. So if you are ever interested, it is absolutely open to the public, and they're always looking for people.
Great, thank you for sharing that information.
No
Okay,
comments have come in.
Okay, no publics have come in. Okay, so we'll wait one more minute and then we'll close hearing. Okay, it's 6:32. At this time, I'd like to close the public hearing. And we're going to move on to item 12.2, which is approval of the resolution 22.08.22, sufficiency of pupil textbooks and instructional materials.
Motion to approve?
Okay,
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, we're going to move on to 13.1, approval of the 2022-2023 board activity calendar.
Thank you. We adopted our first one of these a year ago, and so it's that time again. I made a couple of minor adjustments for things like the policy updates. We last year had them listed on the month that they come to us, and it would go to the next board meeting, so I put them on the month of the board meeting where we would be reviewing them, things like that. Again, living document, as there's more things that the board or directors see that we need to add, we can just add to it. It's more that everyone knows like kind of what our compliance timeline is so that we all stick to it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate this too because it helps us kind of give an overview of what's coming up. Okay, can I get a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, roll call.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, item 14.1, our next regular board meeting is going to take place on August 24th, 2022. And do we have any suggested future board items? Board?
Yes, and not to put our director of tech on the spot, but I would love to get a report of kind of her vision, what she'd like to accomplish in the district, maybe some of the holes we need to fill, and just an update on our tech.
I will have Krisha do her vision of tech on the next, we'll do a little presentation of your vision. As she actually has very amazing ideas and outside of the box thinking for even where we're going with the professional development room here when it's not a boardroom.
Great, yeah, I've heard great things, so I'm excited. Thank
I'm
you.
kind of smiling to myself because she's a very high energy person. She's just kind of, hanging out back there, but I know the truth.
So it's going to be a wow presentation.
It will. Yeah, our tech team is subtly nodding their heads that they agree.
I'm sure they have some unused special effects talent back there, I'm sure.
Sure.
Well, I got to see into her house for a year during COVID when I was teaching her daughter, so I know all the secrets now.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank
awesome. Okay, at this time, this is probably my shortest board meeting. 15.1, if I can get a motion to adjourn at 6:35.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Andrew Sandoval,
Aye.
Ms. Sarah Turner,
Aye.
Mr. Jacob Sandoval.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Okay, thank you, everybody.